We have over 1,000 different species in Australia alone. Over 20% of those, over 200 species, are snakes. We have a very diverse snake fauna here in our country. First one I'm going to show off today is, what do we think that is? Yellow-bellied. Yellow-bellied. Okay, nobody knows? So it is actually just a completely harmless water python. Okay, so what I want to do today, one of the aims of today is to show you that you don't know what you're looking at. It is very important never to assume you know what species you're looking at. This quite easily resembles a brown snake from a distance or a black snake from a distance, highly venomous species, when it is in fact just a harmless water python. This species is local to Townsville and all of far north Queensland, northern NT and northern WA. They are completely harmless. They will only get up to lengths of around 2.5 meters, so not one of our largest snakes. Living somewhere such as this around a Billabong, river, creek, hunting at the water's edge on small birds and small mammals. So I will pop him out for a cruise and let him untangle himself. So these do also go by another name here in Australia. They are the rainbow serpent in Indigenous culture as well. And in the sunlight, he does get a beautiful rainbow patterning across his scales. So a very beautiful species. Our pythons, we only have 15 species here in Australia out of those over 200 snake species. So the majority of our snakes here in Australia are venomous. So I will go through a few of those in a moment. One thing that is most fascinating about our pythons though is this guy can swallow extremely large prey. Our largest pythons, the olive and the scrub python, they can swallow things as large as a kangaroo, wallaby, small crocodile. So those pythons get up to 6 meters in length. They might not have venom, they might not even have fangs. They do have many sharp recurved teeth. Their bodies are extremely muscular, so when they bite and latch on, they'll bring that animal back up into their body, constrict it, and they will not let go until they are certain it is dead. When they do go to swallow it, all snakes, their skulls are extremely different to yours. So how they can swallow something as large as a wallaby or kangaroo whole is they can dislocate those 4 jaw bones. They have 4 instead of 2. They can move those on any angle they choose, forwards, backwards, up, down, sideways, diagonal. They can open their mouth on nearly a 180-degree angle and then engulf that prey. Once they do that, that is when they're the most vulnerable. They will find somewhere safe, secure and warm to digest that prey. It is our pythons that can swallow such really large prey. Our venomous snakes mostly do actually feed on smaller animals. I will show a few of them off now, guys. At the end of the show though, if you would like a hold of this beautiful water python, stick around and we will have him out at the end of the show.
We're just putting the snake back in.
Show him later on. That's the best part.
So guys, from here on in, please do keep your hands just back past the railings. Please don't stick any limbs into the snake pit. Okay, so this gorgeous girl here is Helen, and I'm going to let Helen go for a little cruise. So she is a king brown snake to many Australians. She is not very brown at all. The true name is the mulga. Again, like I was saying, it is nearly impossible to tell a snake species and identify it unless you are a reptile expert. You need to be able to count those scales on the top of its head in particular, do a scale count, and the pattern. If you're that close to her head, you're far too close. And you don't know what it is, so you should never be that close to any snake's head. I could pick up 10 mulga snakes, 10 different mulgas from all across this country. Each one would look different. Again, farmers call them the king brown. That is very misleading. This is not a brown snake at all. Brown snakes here in Australia belong to the genus known as the Pseudonea. This belongs to the genus known as the Pseudechus, the black snakes, as we commonly call them. So this is in fact a black snake. They are also the most widespread and widely distributed venomous snake in all of Australia. So for her, she is not full grown yet. They can reach lengths of 3.5 meters. So one of our larger venomous snake species as well. And because of that, they can also give more venom per bite than any other venomous snake in the world. So they do give an extremely high dosage of venom per bite, which aids in their prey capture. Mulga snakes are quite generalists. They will mostly feed upon whatever they come across, small mammals, small frogs, small reptiles. That venom then is anticoagulant and myotoxic. So they have two predominant type of toxins in their venom. Those anticoagulant toxins are going to hit your blood, and your clotting factors, they will stop your blood from clotting. They will neutralize your clotting factors, and you will begin to bleed persistently from that bite site. But more importantly, you will begin to bleed internally, and you will bleed from all the openings in your body. And I do mean all the openings in your body. So a very nasty effect. Black snakes also all have myotoxins. Those myotoxins hit muscle tissue and muscle cells. So they give what is known as a very painful bite. And that can also give long-term, long-lasting effects from those myotoxins. Despite that, very few people die from this snake. In fact, no one has died in recent years from this snake. Here in Australia, one person, maybe two people die per year from venomous snakes. We do not have a snakebite crisis in Australia whatsoever, I promise you that. I've studied venomous snakes all across the world. Africa, where they have hundreds of thousands of deaths per year. India, where they have hundreds of thousands of deaths per year. South America, where they have hundreds of thousands of deaths per year. Snakebite is a major tropical disease in those regions. Here in Australia, we have 1 to 2 deaths per year, and quite often they're actually venomous snake handlers, okay? These snakes want nothing to do with you. Is she trying to hunt me across this pit right now? No. They are triggered by movement. They see us simply as a threat. If you stand still, she's very likely to cruise on by you. If you give her an exit somewhere else to go, she's very likely to cruise on by you and go for that exit and retreat. Only when truly threatened, if you corner them, poke them, prod them, pick them up, are venomous snakes a problem for you. Any stories you hear in Australia from farmers about that taipan that chased them all the way across the paddock, up the farm, up the road, and all the way to the pub, okay, that's a lie. That never happened, okay? So just admire them from a distance, and you should never have a problem. If you are unfortunately bitten by a venomous snake, guys, please don't panic. You are in the best country in the world to be bitten by a venomous snake. We have excellent healthcare, and we have excellent anti-venom. And also, we have excellent education. So what I'm going to say next could save your life, and that is don't panic. Simply move away from that snake. Don't try and catch it. Don't try and kill it. You don't need to know what it is, okay? You're going to apply first aid. You're going to apply a pressure immobilization bandage from below the bite site all the way up above the bite site. Say you're bitten on your wrist, you want that pressure bandage all the way up your arm. If you're bitten on the ankle, you want it all the way up your leg. For that pressure bandage, you want it just tight enough that it doesn't cut off blood flow, okay? So you don't want to cut off blood flow. Once you've put that on, also put a stint on that limb that you're bitten on, okay? The more you can keep still, the less you move around, the more time you buy yourself to get to hospital, which is the only place you want to go. If you wave that arm around, if you walk on that leg for an hour, okay, all you're doing is pumping that venom throughout your lymphatic system, and that venom will act quicker, okay? So, put a stint on it, pressure bandage. If you get bitten on your neck, okay, that's a bit hard to put a pressure bandage on, I'll give you that. If you get bitten on the neck, I guarantee you're playing with the snake anyway, so that's your own fault. And I don't feel that much sympathy. So, once you've done that first aid, please do go straight to hospital. Don't think you're tougher than that snake. You're not. You don't know what it is. You don't know how much venom it's pumped throughout your body. Any stories you hear of people who got bitten and felt perfectly fine afterwards, they were dry bites. These snakes can control their venom glands. They choose if they want to inject venom when they bite you. 50% of bites here in Australia are dry bites. Roughly 50% do not involve envenomation. So don't think you've heard some story about, oh, my mate was fine, I'll be fine. No, go to hospital. There was a man a number of years back in Western Australia who decided to opt for that philosophy. He decided he didn't want to go to hospital. He passed out after 45 minutes and he died, okay? Do not think you're tougher than any snake. Once you get to hospital, we have a polyvalent antivenom that works for the majority of venomous snake species in our country. They don't even need to know what bit you. That antivenom is highly effective. I've personally studied it myself for many years, and they will give you as much as you need free of charge. I've seen bills in America of over $200,000 to treat rattlesnake bites, okay? So be grateful you're not in America right now. I've dealt with cases in Africa where the antivenom, again, it is expensive. So they sell it out the back door for extra money. And when you get to hospital, there is none. So be very grateful for our beautiful healthcare here in Australia. I will pop this beautiful mulga away, guys, and I will grab out one more snake to show off. What are you doing? Can you give me my hook? Come on. Thank you. Just wants to have a cruise. Doesn't want to go away. Okay, so our next species was responsible for the majority of deaths here in Australia before the invention of antivenom. However, now only a few people die every decade or so from this snake species. It is not responsible for that many deaths anymore. So this species here is the mainland tiger snake, and it is responsible for more deaths than any other snake before that invention of antivenom. That is due to its commonness down in South Australia, Victoria and Tasmania, where it is still commonly found today. So their venom is a little bit different to the mulga snake I was just talking about. They do have some myotoxins, but importantly, they have potent procoagulant toxins. This species ranks within the top 10 most venomous snakes in the world. Those procoagulant toxins will hit your blood as well, but instead of preventing it from clotting, they actually cause clots, okay? They will cause stroke in their prey, but in humans it acts a little differently. It causes tons of mini blood clots in your blood. Then once it does do that, you're left with nothing. You're left with nothing in your blood to clot when you need it, and you will again bleed out internally and externally. This species here, again, one of the top 10 most venomous snakes in the world, does also give a large bite. They are a large species. So when you do get to hospital, you need a trained professional to assess your case. You do not know what you need, and it is a case-by-case basis. There were outdated beliefs many years ago that 1 vial of anti-venom is all you needed per person, okay? That was from some bad science. Unfortunately, a man did die in 2014 because he arrived at hospital from a tiger snake bite and they only gave him 1 vial of anti-venom. So you do need to be constantly monitored after that bite. You do need a doctor and a nurse there to assess your situation ongoing, and you may need 2, 3, 4, 5 vials of anti-venom, depending on the case. Where are you going? So this species here, again, just like the mulga, found across a lot of areas of Australia. They are jet black in Tasmania. They are this colour on the Gold Coast. They can be very different colours. Never assume you know what you're looking at. What this beautiful tiger snake is doing right there, that is how you know you are annoying a snake. The flattening of the neck. That is a defensive posturing, okay? Our black snakes, our tiger snakes, and many other venomous snakes here in Australia do that defensive posturing. So guys, I hope you know a little bit more about snake safety, but importantly, what I really hope you know is also how beautiful these creatures are. This is a gorgeous animal. She has not tried to harm me in any way today, has she? Okay? If you give them space, they are very important for our ecosystem. It is very important we conserve this species. They keep rodent populations down. They are critical to our Australian environment. And also importantly, many of your drugs that keep you alive every day also come from these snakes, okay? Their venom may be potent to us, but when studied properly, there are many important drugs that we can develop from their venom, so they are very important medically to us as well. Did anyone have any questions about our snakes today? Have I ever been bitten? By pythons, yes. Venomous snakes, no. And I would like to keep it that way. Just because you will survive does not mean you will survive without any problems. In particular, the tiger snake has toxins which target your kidneys. I know many people who have ongoing life health problems from their kidneys after being bitten by tiger snakes. So just because that anti-venom will save your life doesn't mean you want to try it. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Do hope you enjoyed the snake show today, guys. I will have that beautiful water python back out in a moment if you would like a hold. If you would like to see some of our other venomous species, the venom house is just past the wombats there on your left. This is actually a good time of year to see our inland taipans. We have a gorgeous male-female pair in there, and they have actually been mating recently. So not something you see every day. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you.